Oh, it's good to see all my wonderful imaginary friends again on the Vegematic channel, which has been shut down briefly due to things like having other shit to do in my life. Once in a while I do have to do other shit. It's unpleasant, but being YouTube star isn't really all that it's cracked up to be. Yes, and you have somehow stumbled into the dark side underneath all the corporate peaks of wondrousness on YouTube these days, and managed to find a very small and select group of people that tune in to what has been described as the finest entertainment available on YouTube today. And ladies and gentlemen, it is with great sadness that I must announce the death of Smokey the Bear. Smokey succumbed to his injuries sustained in the California wildfires in paradise. Just another day in paradise. Watch out for the fire-nados on your way out. Be careful. Oh, seriously, I shouldn't even joke about those things, but I pride myself in sometimes having extremely bad taste, and sometimes when things get extremely dark, then that's the time we need to be more human and find ways to laugh, you know. It's getting really hard to laugh these days. It's tough. Life is tough. The planet is burning, or flooding, or a combination of the two. Well, we're all doomed. And on that cheery note, I will bring you some of the other wonderful stories that come to us via the magic box that we are all plugged into called the internet. And while doing this show, I must confess that I am compelled to register myself as a foreign national from the communist country of Soviet Kazakhstan. So everywhere people are gearing up for Christmas, and nowhere probably with more enthusiasm than the last little lame duck session of Congress and little Donnie's troubles. So it will be a Christmas of, I would predict, either war, martial law, some sort of insanity is going to happen before the Democrats take control of Congress, in my humble opinion. But what do I know? I'm a foreign agent. Oh, cannabis, you're finally legal and free. Yeah, getting near Christmas, they're cutting down trees. Wish I had a river that I could sail away on, and that's the way I've been feeling lately. It's been wonderful to just turn it all off, right? Once in a while, we all have to turn off all the shit that's going on in the world, because there's nothing we can do about it in the long run. We can try and make our little corner of the universe a more kind and loving place is about all we can do. So let's attempt to at least do that. Having the knowledge of what is coming, as all of my other friends in the doomosphere apparently are only too well aware of, and I'm speaking about Environmental Coffee House with Sandy, Hambone Littletail, Paul Beckwith, or Beckworth. Oh my God, my memory is fading. It's the senility. It's not this. This is what's keeping me young, and this too. So let me just put another nail in the coffin and say, it's all a ride, man. It's all a ride. It's like none of us asked to be here, but it's just this really weird karmic ride that we float through the universe on. I still believe in the innate goodness that's inside of us all, as well as the innate selfishness that we all sadly succumb to. And Western culture puts that shit on steroids, man. I tell you, it's just everything is competition. Everything is use it while you can, use it up, buy more shit. If you watch any television these days, and you know, my wife likes to watch television. Personally, I'd like to throw it out the damn window, but invariably I end up sitting and being hypnotized by it for a couple of hours at a time. And I was just upstairs, you know, it's like the middle of the night. And I sat there and I thought, well, I have to do show preparation. So that's important. And I had to turn off my mind. So of course, wanting to turn off my mind, I turned on the television, which is what we do when we need to shut down our mind. But in doing that, we open ourselves up to hypnotic programming that makes us into yuppie scum. And that's what made our generation yuppie scum. Now, I'm not a yuppie scum, nor have I ever been a yuppie scum. I wish that we hadn't, as a generation, become yuppies in the 80s. I just hated the goddamn 80s. It was a piece of shit decade as far as I'm concerned. The 70s, well, they were there, man, and I was there. I think I was there. From what I can remember, I was there. And it was better than the 80s. And then it was the 90s, and the 80s were better than the 90s, and then the 2000 to 2010, that wasn't quite as good as the 90s, and oh shit, it's all garbage. It's all fucked. We're all fucked. I can't see, I will never get an audience as long as I use profanity on YouTube. And it just slips out because there are some words that are not recommended. And some people do, they do name their whole channel like after curse words, but I try not to. Just because as a mature human being, it looks bad. It does. It means you can't really think of anything better to say than, fuck, I hate this fucking shit. So don't say that. Don't talk like that. It doesn't work, and people will look down on you for that, and they'll just think you're a fucking asshole. So, don't do it. So I don't know what it is, but for some reason, my creativity is flooding back to me. I went through a real period there of just feeling really bad about the world and the condition that we're in and everything. And why make stuff? Because it's only going to be broken, or it's only going to burn, or it's temporal. But then I thought, hey, there's stuff I like to do, and so I started playing music again, and I'm planning to do painting, and I've got all this time on my hands right now. My wife and I are retired officially. And being retired, is it like retarded, or no? It's retired. It means you're tired for the second time in a row, and it's hard because you're tired. So you're too tired to participate. And I thought, no, you know what? There are painters who painted masterpieces in their late point in life, and I think, well, maybe I should paint a masterpiece, and then this little voice inside of me, that's a little gremlin, says, why paint a masterpiece? It's only going to be destroyed. Nothing is permanent. But when you accept the impermanence of it all and celebrate just making shit and being creative, and YouTube for me is part of that. And it just flows, you know? It flows just like the river of shit that comes out of the White House. It flows like, you know, freely and covers everything in this sticky, awful shit that makes you feel like, you know, you have to take a shower. So don't feel like that. I mean, be happy. Don't worry. We're here. We woke up this morning. Most of us had enough money for food, I guess. At least the ones that we can afford to be on the internet, right? And hey, what is that? If you take the internet and what it costs you, and what if you had to make the decision between the internet and food, I bet you a lot of people would choose the internet over food. And it would get worse as virtual reality gets better and people put on these headsets and immerse themselves in a plastic paradise. Do what you love and the money will follow. What a piece of shit advice that is. Do what you want. I want to stay in bed all day and the money is not following me there. Well, do what you love then. Well, I love to sleep and the money's not following me there. Who thought that stupid saying up? No, of course not. Do what you despise and the money will follow. Shut off your morals, shut off your conscience, shut it all off, the money will follow. But do what you love? Well, unless you love manipulating people, using human beings for your own purposes, the money ain't gonna follow you. It'll follow you, but then it'll leave right away. It does that. A couple of shout outs. One of them is to Going South, another member of the ever-growing Doomosphere. So check out Going South's channel if you have not yet. This doom thing is just really taking over the bottom half of the internet. Well, I think that sleep is finally calling my manic mind. And hopefully I'll wake up manic and be creative, but there's no guarantee of that. I'd like to say thanks to everybody, and I do mean this from the bottom of my heart. The people that have stuck with the Vegematic channel through thick and through thin, through twice a week to once a month to a year off, and you're still there. Wow, you guys spend a lot of time on the internet. I need to reconnect with nature sometimes. So that's why I get in my van and I go for a drive on the highway, and then I reconnect with trees and things. And once you get the cruise control on, you can look at the trees briefly as they whiz by, and you can really reconnect with nature that way. So I'd recommend going for a drive, burning fossil fuels as much as possible, as quickly as possible. Naturally, I'm being sarcastic. And I've had that my whole life, this people not understanding sarcasm. It's gotten me in so much trouble. And people really think that, oh, you're an asshole. No, I'm just sarcastic. I can't help it. It's like sarcasm is an art, and I consider myself a Picasso, so I am sarcastic, therefore I am. And what else can we be but dark-humored, sarcastic? Anyway, gotta go. Everybody, thank you for still hanging in there. So many names. And, you know, there's people that I've known for years and years, like Ella. And Ella, I think I missed your comment the last time. If you're still watching, honey, I'm scattered these days. Sometimes I miss things. I read your comment and then I realized like about 2 weeks later that, oh, I don't think that one was ever answered. So it's not that I'm being mean. It's just that the dementia is really starting to kick in. There are good things about dementia. You know, you can get away with a lot because when you get old, people just think, he's a crazy old bastard, don't pay any attention to him. Ha ha ha. Crazy like a fox. There's this sort of this television program that I've been watching on CBC, the state-owned media that has lots of ads on it because the funding has been cut back to the bone. CBC is a national treasure as far as I'm concerned. I'm a big CBC fan and not afraid to admit it. I suppose that pigeonholes me as some kind of old fart, but really it has, over the years, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation has unified this diverse, wonderful country of Canada and reaches into the farthest northern regions and brings Canadian culture and brings Canadians together, things that make us distinct from Americans. I don't think we like guns quite as much as you guys do, although there are people that love guns. And I was watching this television show called, what is it called again? Oh, Still Standing. And they visit dying communities that are trying to, come back, and they'll be maybe trying some tourism tricks or anything. But they're towns that industry abandoned long ago and were still standing. And I enjoyed the show because you see lots of little towns and kind of a cross section of small town Canada. And in Quebec, they had this horrible episode that left a really bad taste in my mouth. And I am from Montreal originally. I was born there, grew up in Quebec. There's a small town in Quebec where this farm is run, where you get to go out and shoot pigs that are released into the woods. So, they really have a chance, and terrify these poor animals. It's not bad enough that, to make the slaughterhouse industry look benign by comparison. And this really revolted me, that people would make money by selling access to this herd of pigs that were enclosed in a game thing. This is like a sport or something where you terrify these poor animals and you kill your pig by yourself, and you must feel real proud of yourself. So that's my little anti-Quebec rant. The reason I don't like Quebec was because there was a large English population in Montreal back in the 60s and 70s who were not exactly welcomed with open arms, and there were some historical things between the French and the English, and it went back like centuries to some stupid battle or something. And the average, French and English people got along fine, but you got these damn hotheads, stirring everything up. And so we, most English people left Quebec in the 70s after René Lévesque was elected. And my parents were amongst those, and since I was 18 and had nothing better to do, I came to live in the armpit of Canada, London, Ontario. Oh man, not for long. Going to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches.